Hi, I'm Diona, the daughter of an extremely wealthy family. My father owns a large hotel chain while my mother owns a luxury cosmetic brand. My brother Harry is apprenticed to follow in his father's footsteps, and I am inferior to none. You can easily find magazines with my face anywhere because I'm a popular teen photography model. Sounds like the perfect family, right? But just like your family, we all have our own problems. Please like and subscribe and listen to my crazy story. It all started after a trip to the sea. My father was driving us home when he suddenly barged into a girl. Luckily, my dad drove slowly so no one was hurt. But the other girls seemed to be in panic.
Are you okay?
Ah! My head!
She seems to have a concussion. Should we take her to the hospital?
Oh no! Please, help me! There are bad guys chasing after me! The girl pointed to the other side of the street. There were 2 or 3 men looking very scary approaching. Looked like they were looking for someone. Who are they? They are bad guys. They want to kidnap me. My family immediately became alarmed, quickly put her in the car and left. My mother really hates kidnappers because when she was young, bad people took her sister away. For many years, my mother always believed that she was still alive and did not stop searching for her without any clues. When my father drove home, the girl looked exhausted. She couldn't walk, so my brother helped her into the house. What's this? I suddenly saw something falling to the ground, so I was curious to pick it up. It turned out to be a rather old-looking silver pendant. I saw a picture of the self-portrait inside by accident, and to my surprise, the face looked extremely familiar. That person was very similar to my mother. What's wrong, Diona? The lady in this photo looks like you a lot, Mom. What's wrong? Mom took the pendant in my hand. When she saw the photo, she was even more shocked than I was. Could this be Elaine? My mother could not keep her calm and rushed into the house. She took the girl's hand and asked incessantly, "Who are you? Why did I have this necklace? What is your relationship with Elaine? Where is my sister? Please let me know." Oh, please, let me rest for a while. After getting enough food and rest, the girl finally told us the truth. My name is Vivian, and Elaine is my adoptive mother. Years ago, the doctor diagnosed her with cancer and couldn't have children, so she adopted me. After that, we live in a very close quarters in poor countryside. So now, she was very resilient against illness, but in the end still, both Mom and Vivian couldn't hold back their tears. They hugged each other and cried for a long time. Harry and I both have no memory of this aunt, but we are still heartbroken. That night, I made a cake myself to comfort Mom and Vivian. I found them in the garden. They were sharing their stories with each other. Poor child, you've worked so hard. Let me help you pay the debt. There's no need, Auntie. It's my duty. I'm just sad because there's no one close to me anymore. Then we will become your family. It turned out that Vivian had to borrow a large amount of money to treat Aunt Elaine's illness. That's why she was hunted by bad people. They want to capture her to sell for money. For my family, it wasn't a large amount of money, so I didn't think much of it at that time. I just felt sorry for her. Since the day Vivian came here, my mother had been so happy. I like Vivian too. It's nice to have someone my age to talk to. She was funny and had a good taste. She helped me make a lot of beautiful doll dresses. We also talked to each other a lot. Is it true that you never had a boyfriend? Yes. There are always 2 bodyguards accompanying me when I go out, even when I go to school. That's why I don't have any friends anymore. What about Carrie? I panic while covering her mouth. Don't ever bring this up to Mom and Dad. They'll get mad. Why is that? My brother's love story wasn't any secret. His girlfriend was Juliet. She was beautiful, kind, and well-educated. The problem was that her family was too poor. Mom thought she was not good enough for Harry, and my dad feared she was just a fortune hunter. Harry wanted to travel around the world and become a photographer, but his father forced him to continue the family business. That's why he always seems unhappy at home. That's interesting. Huh? I mean, Harry's dream is so cute. Thanks for what I said. Vivian got along with everyone very quickly. She could even go golfing with Dad and take piano lessons with Harry. Servants working in the villa also loved her very much. But a month later, things got worse. Vivian was fine, but everyone in my family was becoming irritable and arguing with each other. Harry and Dad always argued about work, but this was the first time I'd seen them so intense that even my mother couldn't sit still. Honey, our son is young. Everything needs time.
I was the owner of the business with 1,000 employees when I was his age. No matter how hard I try, you're still not satisfied. I'm so tired. Why doesn't anyone see my sacrifice and effort? I don't want to live in this house anymore.
Wait, Harry, don't go.
Just let him go. Let's see if we can live comfortably without this house with that poor little girl.
My father left the room angry. I was busy comforting my mother, and Vivian ran after Harry. I hope Vivian can convince Harry. How could he run away from home? Everything will be fine, Mom. He'll be back soon. That's just all I comforted my mother. But I didn't expect Harry to return the same night. He was drunk and still crying. What's wrong, brother?
Julia, she wants to break up with you.
But the other day, I saw you two having fun on a date, didn't you?
I don't know. She said she didn't want to stand in the way of my career.
Since that day, Harry had lost his soul. But looks on the bright side, he doesn't argue with Dad anymore. That peaceful time wasn't last so long. Another incident hit my family. One day, my father came home with fierce anger. He threw a bunch of pictures in my face and scolded me.
Look what you've done. What a shame.
I didn't understand anything until I saw my face in the pictures. Someone secretly took pictures of me and the male models. They deliberately chose the angle that looked like I was in love with them. Things are not as you see them. I am completely innocent. I tried to explain, but my father did not believe me. He even turned his anger at Mom.
Is this how you raise your children? You disappoint me so much.
I think there's a misunderstanding. My father left again and my mother started crying. I feel very guilty. Because of me, my parents quarreled. At that time, Vivian was the only one who would trust and comfort me. Don't let that black mood get to you, Diona. Your dad will understand soon. I used to believe Vivian, but things only got worse. Feeling bad about all the stuff that happened to us. My mother suffered from a headache, so she often called her doctor. Once, I suddenly heard a loud scream from my mom's room, so I rushed to check. When I opened the door, I couldn't believe my eyes. I saw a strange man hugging my mother. Who are you? Let go of my mother. The man was scared to leave but was quickly caught by the security. When my father asked me, he blamed my mother again.
It's not my fault. She seduced me and asked me to sneak in here. She said that she was arguing with her husband and needed someone to talk to.
Needless to say, my father was mad. After smashing all the furniture, he sadly sat down in a chair and asked for a divorce from Mom. At that moment, I felt like the world was falling apart. My perfect family was completely broken down. I didn't know what to do but hide in my room and couldn't help crying all day. Vivian was very sorry for me, and she offered to take me out to get some fresh air. The park is far away and I don't know how to drive. I have a car. Don't worry, let's go. I was also tired of being in this heavy atmosphere house, so I agree. But instead of driving me to the park, Vivian took me to the mall. Shopping is the best entertainment. But you don't need to buy anything. Then you just have to come with me. Oh, this dress seems to suit me. And that hat too. Your mother will definitely like it. Its color is so bright and it's also youthful. I don't think Mom likes it. Vivian ignored every word I said and bought whatever she liked. When it was time to pay, I felt that the black card in her hand looked very familiar. Is that my dad's card? What? Well, it's because your father feels sorry for scolding me. He asked me to take you shopping for solace. Is that true? I wasn't so sure and I started to feel weird. Vivian shopped so much that the trunk and rear seats were full. I sat in the passenger seat and had to carry a bunch of extra stuff. On the way back home, a bag of stuff was thrown out and hit the steering wheel. Vivian was startled and pressed the wrong brake, causing the car to brake suddenly and hit the car behind. The victim was very angry and refused to receive compensation. He insisted on calling the police. When the police checked the driver's license, asked,
Is this your car?
This is my uncle's car. What? Isn't Vivian the adopted child of Aunt Elaine and no other relatives? When I questioned her, she looked confused. Well, that's the neighbor. He's a very kind man, so he lent me a car to run away from the gangsters. Too many suspicious points. I pretended to trust Vivian but secretly investigated her. To my surprise, that car turned out to be a rental car. The owner reported the theft to the police, and that tenant is none other than Vivian. I was very angry and decided to expose her in front of the whole family. There must have been a misunderstanding, right, Vivian? It's because... That's right. Because I was so needy at that time that I took the risk. I know my mistake. I will return the car to its owner. It's okay. It's good to know when you're wrong. You're still a member of this family. At that moment, suddenly Juliet appeared with Harry. She walked over and slapped Vivian hard in the face. You're a liar. You lied to me, saying that Harry was bored and despised me. He was just pitying me so he didn't say goodbye. She took out the check with a very large amount and threw it on the ground. You also said that this is how much Harry's mother paid to ask me to break up with him. What's this? Is this the check I gave Vivian for tuition? Didn't you say you wanted to go to college? At this point, Vivian could no longer deny it. She was about to run away when Harry caught her. My dad decided to take her to the police station for fraud. Unexpectedly, when the police investigated Vivian, they discovered that Aunt Elaine was still alive. Aunt and Vivian worked together at a nursing home. She lost her memory after the kidnapping, so she didn't remember anything about her mother. Vivian once again accidentally saw my mother and realized that the two of them looked alike. After finding out that my mother had a lost sister, she made up this play. Her plot was to divide my family, seduce my brother, and took all the property. Luckily, I realized the truth before it was too late.
I'm sorry for not trusting you, especially Harry. I shouldn't think that awful about your girlfriend, nor should I force you to work for me.
I'm at fault too. I was fooled by Vivian so easily. After all, we took Aunt Elaine home and started a new, maybe better life. Harry is happy with Juliet, and his parents get along well. I couldn't ask for anything more than to continue living with a truly perfect family.